Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Palantir's 3030 Club. My name is Adam Bergman, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Palantir. In today's video, I am going to cover an article questioning if Palantir can reach a $1 trillion market cap, which would put us right around $500 a share in the next 11 years. I'm also going to cover brand new information, brand new data that came out from the NHS stating how many wait lines they have, how many patients they saw, any reduction or any increases of efficiency within the NHS. And after that, I want to cover a little bit more about the healthcare sector, giving you specific examples, not from one, but two Palantir Foundry and Palantir AIP clients within the health sector using Palantir technology. And after this, my last segment of today's video, I'm going to be going over a specific example for options. In one of my last videos, a channel viewer says, "Hey, Adam, I got into Palantir at $20 a share. I have 37,000 shares. God bless you, sir. You're doing your thing. How can I make additional money collecting premium on my $20 a share, 37,000 share bag?" For this, I told him I will give you a specific example in today's video using literally his bag size and literally a $20 a share cost basis, and we'll see how much premium he can actually generate based on the current price of Palantir, which is just sub $17. It's going to be a very, very interesting, jam-packed video, so you don't want to go anywhere. Let's get right into it. But before we do, please give me a like, share, and subscribe only if you will be feeling this type of content. It definitely helps me out. Take a look at the screen. This was an article that just came out from Yahoo Finance, and it's referencing an article that came out from The Motley Fool. And the article is labeled, "Will Palantir be a $1 trillion stock by 2035? It's such an interesting question, and I think it's literally the second biggest question in the Palantir community. The first one being the video that I posted yesterday of what exactly does Palantir do? Like, what is the secret sauce of Palantir? And if you missed that video, there's going to be a link up above. Please check that out. And the second question that most people in the Palantir community ask, and I know because I'm an OG of the Palantir community, is, will Palantir ever hit $1 trillion market cap? Now, to hit a $1 trillion market cap at any point in time, not taking into account for share dilution and stuff like that, brings us right around that $500 a share price. So very, very interesting. Not exactly 500 plus or minus, but right around that range, you know, several hundreds of dollars. And that's what everybody really, really wants. So I thought it would be really cool to read this article, and it literally just came out, and it was written by Will Healy. I don't follow these people, and I'm not really sure who this person is, if they write about Palantir, but this is going to be really, really cool. Palantir Technologies stock began a bull market run in early 2023 following the release of its artificial intelligence platform. Even though the company had long relied on AI to deliver analytic insights, the release of AIP appears to have placed the stock on investors' radar. This statement could not be truer. Before AIP, nobody gave a fizzle about anything Palantir did. Not Foundry, not Gotham, not Apollo, not Edge. And although Palantir has been a leader in artificial intelligence, literally surpassing Microsoft and Google and Amazon in sales, I believe in 2021, there was a report that came out, nobody gave a flying fizzle. Palantir was at the front line of artificial intelligence innovation, specifically for the United States military and tracking down terrorists, literally funded by In-Q-Tel, which is the investment arm of the CIA. You couldn't ask for a better story. You couldn't ask for a better origin story. This is literally out of Marvel, but nobody gives a flying fizzle. Then comes ChatGPT, Bard, so on and so forth, and all of a sudden, all eyes are on LLMs. Well, Palantir AIP takes LLMs a step further. They allow you to extract and maximize LLMs, actually KLLMs, which means many different large language models, and actually be able to utilize that for your organization and for your corporation, for your business, for your daily uses, and have a single piece of truth that allows you to maximize and extract efficiency from what you are doing. Listen, at the end of the day, 2023 was all about the artificial intelligence platform, and 2024 is going to be all about the conversion rate of AIP. AIP literally gave a new breath of fresh air for Palantir, and they literally had 350 different clients doing the boot camps, which is absolutely massive, and surpassed the estimates. I believe it was supposed to be 150 or 200. So Palantir is in good shape, and I think that they're going to have a massive conversion rate, bringing us to $30 a share before the end of 2024. Some people think I'm bullish. Some people think that I am bearish, and it's very, very interesting. Everybody's different opinions. Let's continue. Although it was already a large cap stock, the rise in the stock market cap just over $35 billion. The early findings from the company's AIP bootcamps show it has the potential to drive game-changing levels of growth. The question is, can it make $1 trillion by 2035? Palantir's path to $1 trillion. At first glance, Palantir does not appear to have a likely path to $1 trillion market cap by 2035. You might ask why, and I'm going to start abbreviating a little bit because that's in the matter of 11 years. You would have to grow 36% per year. A lot of people are super bullish, and I got to bring you guys, back to levels, bring you grounded, because sometimes when the price is running up to 19, 20, 21, 21.50, you guys were refusing to believe that the price is overvalued. For those of you who have not followed the company, Palantir stock rose by nearly 160% over the last 12 months. Now you're going to say, well, Adam, we grew 160%. We went to 2150. 36% is going to be easy. And to this, I'm going to say, read the next paragraph. 1 year of strong performance is just that. 1 year. And I've been saying it since $21 or $20 that Palantir is going to drop in the 15 range. And lo and behold, last week or the week before that, $15.90. And now Palantir is trading, I believe, like mid-16s. So we're in really good shape. If you bought at 20, you might not be in good shape. If you bought at 30, but most of the Palantir community is above water with an average of around $13, $14 from the questions that I've been asking. Since its IPO in September 2020, the stock is only up around 75% overall. I agree with this. I just don't like that they said only up. If you go to C3 AI, which allegedly is a competitor, or Snowflake, which allegedly is a competitor. By the way, I absolutely whooped that ass with my bet with Chris Patel. I won my $2,000 because Palantir absolutely whooped Snowflake in 2023. So thank you very much, Chris. I just don't like that they said only up around, because all the other SaaS companies are down. Not all, but a lot of the competitors. So is it enough of an increase to fuel a run to $1 trillion valuation? The company's potential growth, and this is very, very important because this is going to be a segue into, this one right here, NHS England, and a couple of other speaking points and segments of this channel. While it is an improbable path, which means that it's not impossible, but probably not going to happen, it isn't an impossible path for this growth. Despite a low probability of achieving 36% annual growth, the prospect isn't entirely out of the question thanks to AIP bootcamps. Why? As per Dr. Alex Karp, Shyam Sankar, and the rest of the camp at Palantir, they said the demand for Palantir AIP bootcamps in 1 month is more than the demand for Foundry in an entire year. It's going to be very important to see in about a month from now, mid-February, when we're going to have Q4 earnings, if we have any conversions. But more importantly, Q1 and Q2 is really going to be the numbers to see if we were able to convert users into believers of Palantir AIP. And remember, Palantir AIP is stacked with Palantir Foundry, so our net dollar retention should be going up. The discussion of bootcamps did not produce any results the company would release to the public. The potential benefits of generative AI tools have drawn the attention of investors. Healthcare space, companies like HCA Healthcare and Cleveland Clinic applied AIP to dynamic scheduling to improve operational efficiency. Guys, I'm going to end it right here because I really want to talk about healthcare, because I believe that healthcare is the third, maybe even now the second largest vertical for Palantir. And I want to show you some examples, not from HCA and not from Cleveland Clinic, but let's go a little bit lower over here, where they said that, will Palantir actually hit their $1 trillion? And this is a very, very, very important thing. They're saying ultimately Palantir faces a difficult path to 1 trillion by 2035. And I agree with them. It's not that easy to get there. People don't understand that that is literally going to be over a 20x from where we are right now. It is not easy to get there. However, this is extremely important. Read this. Even with the potential for AIP, whether the stock can return an average growth rate of 36% or more is unclear. But nonetheless, investors should pay attention to Palantir's AIP and its massive potential for productivity gains. Even if the market falls short of the 1 trillion mark over the next 11 years, the stock should make investors significantly richer over time. And that's the key over here. It doesn't matter if you're going to get that 1 trillion. Obviously, I want it. Obviously, I want many trillions. Bro, I want 50 trillion. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Palantir is a game changer. And I'll show you some examples right now. And it's worth holding Palantir, or at least doing your own due diligence and doing your own research. That's my own personal opinion. Now, for all the haters and all the people that have just, ignorant to Palantir, naive to Palantir, man, get that hate out of your heart. Don't be schmucks. Do your own research. Actually do your own due diligence on Palantir to see what they do and look at their massive partnerships. Maybe they don't hit a trillion, but I believe that they're going to hit several hundreds of millions. And I think that we're still super early when it comes to Palantir, but there is going to be diminishing returns. I don't know if we're going to be able to do 160% this year, but I do believe that we have a one bagger of 3 digits of 100%. I think we could hit $30 a share this year. Maybe we hit more. Who knows? This brings me into my second part of today's video, the second segment, where we're going to be talking about this Palantir AIP and how it's transitioning into the healthcare sector. And I'm going to be talking about public and private. So I'm going to talk about the NHS, I'm going to talk about Mount Sinai, and then I'm going to talk about Tampa Hospital, specifically reducing wait times, specifically using Palantir AIP to do what Palantir does. And that's how Palantir got from 0 beds 2.5 years ago to 16%. That means out of 100 beds, 16 are powered by Palantir Foundry for hospitals. And it could be more now. It's almost like they have a monopoly. And then if a hospital is not using Palantir, they're using internal systems, i.e. Excel, PowerPoint, shit like that. Take a look at the screen. This is data that just came out from NHS. This came out on Thursday, I believe. News, waiting lists fall again as NHS staff treat more patients than ever before in 1 month. The COVID backlog has fallen for a second month in a row thanks to huge efforts from NHS staff. Monthly performance data shows that overall waiting lists fell by more than 95,000, down to 7.6 million in November from 7.7 million in October. Thanks to measures set elected by NHS elective recovery blueprint, there were 60,000 fewer patients waiting for care in November than in October and 112,000 fewer than in September. The progress was down to NHS staff delivering more than 1.63 million treatments in November, the highest monthly activity on record, and around 115,000 more than the same month before the pandemic. Wow. Palantir's contract with the NHS came officially in November, but Palantir has been working with the NHS for the last several months, literally ramping up, but they've been working with the NHS for over a year now in select trusts, which is select hospitals, I'm assuming. So I can't credit everything to Palantir, obviously, but I'm sure Palantir had something to do with this, and not even a small part of this. And I'll explain to you why when I show you some specific examples in the private healthcare sector. The number waiting over a year for treatment fell 355,000 in November, the lowest it has been since May 2022. The 65, okay. Not only was it a record month for treatment, but the NHS staff also delivered a record number of diagnostics in November, with more than 2.3 million patients receiving vital tests, checks for worrying symptoms, up 15% on the same month pre-pandemic, with 2 million seen in November. There was a significant improvement in ambulance performance as well. And this is with a strike, right? If you go over here, in 2024, with the longest set of strikes in over 75 years history. NHS has problems. It's been having problems. Public healthcare, for all that it's great for, it also is not the best options. But at the end of the day, Palantir got this massive contract that they're going to be working with NHS for the next 5 years, 3 to 5 years, maybe 7 years. And we see it time and time again that Palantir is reducing wait times. They reduced wait times by almost a third, as per Rishi Sunak, when they were doing their testing, their trials with certain trusts. And again, shout out to the NHS staff, all of them. But Palantir is helping with that, because at the end of the day, the data being used is you're able to move patients better and allocate resources better, selectively, and over a larger net, so to speak. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen in the next report, to see when Palantir actually has a full quarter working with the NHS, if these numbers are going to keep increasing significantly. Now I want to talk about two clients. I want to talk about Mount Sinai, and I want to talk about Tampa Hospital. So Tampa Hospital came out and they gave an explanation of what Palantir AIP, Palantir Foundry for Hospitals, can do for their organization. And it's just a small example. It's just a small department. It's not their whole organization or a small hospital that's being used with this, but they're expanding aggressively and rapidly because Palantir is working similarly to what's happening with the NHS. And that's one of the reasons I believe that NHS actually picked Palantir in coordination and partnership with other providers that probably provide more secretarial and clerical work to revamp, modernize the NHS. So first, I want to show you this publication from Tampa Hospital. This is a blog from Palantir back from April 11th, 2023, Connected Health Systems at Tampa Hospital. This is Tampa Hospital. This is Brian Hammer, the CTO at Tampa Hospital. That stands for the Chief Technology Officer. If you go a little bit lower, Tampa Hospital is one of the nation's leading academic health systems with over 100 locations across the state of Florida. Management realized that access to data wasn't an issue, but making that data actionable, doing something useful with it, was easier said than done. That's where Palantir AIP comes into, and in general, Palantir Foundry. In the words of Brian Hamster, CTO of Tampa General, we were data rich, but information poor. I just want to make it extremely clear. Palantir is all about, if you have too much data, how can you extract usefulness from that data? Or if you don't have enough data, how can you extract usefulness from the lack of data that you have? So realizing that, Tampa General's biggest opportunity lays in wielding its data effectively by connecting it to the operational systems. And they started working with Palantir Foundry. Since they work with Palantir Foundry, I'm not going to read this whole thing. I just want you to understand. A 30% improvement in nursing staff ratio in affected units. Improvements in the post-anesthesia care unit, including a 28% reduction in hold time. 28% is literally the reduction that Rishi Sunak was talking about with the NHS. PACU predictive model with a 95% accuracy. This is when you stack Palantir AIP with Palantir Foundry for Hospitals, in addition to Palantir Ontology. An application for real-time disaster response delivered in less than 24 hours in response to Hurricane Ian. This is amazing. Now, I would like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is myself. I'm sponsoring my own channel. I work very, very hard to bring a lot of content. And I want to say, if you want to support the channel, I have a link down below to channel membership. It's $3 a month. Channel members get a weekly live 8 o'clock Eastern Time PM every single Wednesday, where I will be reviewing options, specifically being the banking options, and specifically using options, selling options, cash secured puts, covered calls, iron condors, credit spreads, so on and so forth, to supplement your income. So it's not necessarily to make as much gains as possible. It's to maximize your returns and increase your weekly salary by being the bank and selling options. If this is something that you would like to learn, I have a link down below. Again, it's $3 a month. I think it's an absolutely amazing deal. And with this, you will have private member lives every single week, and the members can join the lives where we can actually speak on video. You don't just have to type. If this is something you want, click the link down below. Now let's get back to your regularly scheduled program. This is from the Palantir Grand Prix. This is a executive from Mount Sinai. I'm going to play you a 1-minute clip. I played this the other day where she literally explains just using in one hospital, one department, one unit, what Palantir did. And at the end of the day, Palantir saved them almost $1.5 million annually. That is on top of the money spent for Palantir. That's how much money they actually saved them. I want you to listen to this clip. It's only going to be a minute long, but it's extremely, extremely vital that you understand what Palantir does for the healthcare sector, up on top of this NHS and Tampa Hospital, Mount Sinai, and all the other partners in the healthcare sector, why Palantir is a leader in healthcare. Artificial intelligence, AI in healthcare, which is growing faster than general AI. Take a look at this video.
At peak times when our operations in the ED were surging. And so now we're trying to take care of all those new patients, as well as move these patients to other levels of care. And you can imagine that's the perfect collide. And so what we were actually able to do was we said, okay, listen, if we can get a hold of these patients right away and reduce their time in the ED, we'll actually reduce their time on the back end of their length of stay. And that's absolutely what we found. So for all of these eligible patients that could continue their care and treatment elsewhere, we were able to shave 1.5 days off of their length of stay. And just to give you an idea of what that means for the hospital, we added 20 beds back on average every single month into the hospital without building any net new beds. And right now we're tracking an annualized ROI of $1.5 million. And just to give you a sense, that's one department, one small test of change in one hospital. So we're looking forward over the next couple of weeks to actually scale this work across the Mount Sinai Health System.
Guys, let's just unpack that really fast, and then I'm going to go to the options segment of this video. She says that they were able to add 20 beds for the month without expanding, without building, without exerting any additional energy, just by using Palantir Foundry for Hospitals and Palantir AIP Stack. This equates to, I think she said, $1.5 million in annual revenue or return on investment. So that's, if let's say they spent $1 million on Palantir, or 100,000, doesn't matter, $1 billion, doesn't matter. They were able to extract $1.5 million of value. This is one hospital, one department. Could you imagine what's going to happen when they roll this out to dozens of hospitals, dozens of departments? They're going to be saving tens of millions, maybe $100 million a year, times how many different hospitals? Cleveland Clinic, Tampa, HCA, Mount Sinai, and all the other hospitals that Palantir is working with. Let that sink in. For people that are saying that Palantir is just a meme, Palantir ain't about it. This is big companies, legitimate, recognized companies that are talking about Palantir and Palantir doing what Palantir does. This brings me to the final segment of today's video, where I'm going to be talking about options. If you know anything about me, I want you to hit the like, share, and subscribe down below, because it helps the YouTube algorithm so that I can reach more people. If you're unfamiliar with options, you can buy options, you could sell options. I predominantly sell options. I sell options in order not to maximize my gains on the play, but in order to generate a weekly income. So supplementing my regular income with options. How do I do that? When you sell options, you collect premiums. When you buy options, you're paying a premium. The money that somebody's paying, you're collecting when you're selling an option. In general, when you're selling an option, the odds of you winning are dramatically up, over 85%. Why? When you buy an option, for the most part, people lose on long options. They are generally only winners around 15% of the time, which gives you that 85% edge. At the end of the day, it's not slow money. It's regular money. It's pretty good money. You're not going to get freaking filthy rich on it, but you could make a really, really good amount of money. Last year, I made over 6 figures selling options. In my last video, a subscriber asked me a question, and I want to go over literally their specific use case. So take a look at the screen. So this guy, Richard, 6950 says, Adam, I have a big bag of shares, but my average is $20. I don't have more money to average down or DCA. Am I able to use my shares in any way to make premiums, or is my average too high for now? And I asked him how much. He said 37,000 shares. And I said, oh yeah, you can make great money. I'll make you a video. You're in good shape. So I'm going to make the video right now. By the way, I started a weekly review for my channel members where I review options, specifically selling options. It is not a form of advice. It's not financial education. It's literally education entertainment where we talk. We're just a group, the Palantir 3030 Club. If you want to join this group, channel members pay $3 a month. The link is down below. Every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I will be doing a live. You can join the live and we can speak like this on video. I can join up to 10 people at a time. I don't even think 10 people are going to end up going for the lives. So you get almost one-on-one conversations. And I'll talk about anything that I'm able to speak about that I know about. All right, this account right now is at $531,000. For year to date, I am actually not doing so good. I am down $71,000. So this account was over $600,000, and now I am down $71,000 year to date. It's been a very, very rough 2 weeks. Let's go into Palantir. So Palantir's price right now is $16.72. What Richard is worried about is, since the price is $16.72 and he bought at $20, can he make money selling options? So let's just go trade options. Over here, instead of buy, I want you to press sell. All right. And you're selling a call, which means you're selling an option on every 100 shares that you own. Expiration date is going to be 1 week. I like to do 1 week options because I feel I can control them best as possible. 1 week, the expiration is going to be January 19th. So whatever this play is, these numbers are going to fluctuate on Monday. Depends on what happens on the market. If Palantir will be 1672 on Monday, then it's going to be pretty much the same numbers. If Palantir goes up or down, numbers fluctuate, but this is going to give you a really good idea, Richard, if you can make money, and you could make money. So the very first thing you want to do, the golden rule is don't sell an option for lower than the price that you bought your shares for. All right. That is the first golden rule. All right. The second rule, if you want to be not greedy, I sell options 20% out of the money weekly. What exactly is 20% out of the money? If the current price of Palantir is $16.72, what I'm going to do is times it by 1.2. So 20% of $16.72 is actually $20. So I would go right here to $20. This is what I want right here. I would click on this. He's actually in really good shape. The reason why he's in good shape is because the implied volatility for Palantir is huge. Implied volatility translates to the amount of money you're going to collect, the premium you're going to collect for your options. The higher the implied volatility, and this is based on a trailing 12-month period. The higher, the more premiums, the lower, the less premiums, because there's something that's happening in the market and they believe that the price is going to fluctuate one way or the other. Because of this, Richard is getting an obscenely high premium. Usually the premium 20% out is going to be 2 cents, maybe 1 cent. He's getting 6 cents. So he's going to make a shit ton of money right now. And I'll show you how much. He's going to be very, very happy. If you click on this, I just want to explain what this is. You are saying that you're selling a call. Selling a call is a call option. Every option is 100 shares. So because he has 37,000 shares, he would sell 370 options. And there's going to be an expiration date. We're going to do 1 week out. If you go right here and you press on the $20, you're going to see something called chance of profit. They are saying that the chance of Palantir going to $20 by the end of the week is around 5%. All right. There's going to be a little number right here that's a delta. All right. This is the delta. Delta means how much percentage somebody who is buying the contract has to win. And you take this. So you take 100 minus 72.72. You're left with around 93% chance in your favor. But because of time decay, which is good for you if you're selling contracts, you are 94.5% chance to win That means the price is not going to hit $20 this week. This is actually a beautiful option. Like seriously, this is a gorgeous option. What do? You click on it. You press continue. So I'm going to do 100 contracts. The reason why is, I could do 370. Okay, because usually Robinhood doesn't allow me. The reason I'm doing 370 is because he owns 37,000 shares. 37,000 divided by 100 gives you 370. When you do this, I want you to press the mark, which is going to be right in the middle. There's always going to be a spread. The spread is usually 1 cent down, 1 cent up. You could do this at 5 cents. You could do this at 6 cents. I usually try to do the mark in the middle. If there's enough demand, then it's going to go. If this doesn't hit, just go to the lower number, which is 0.5. And you're going to, this is going to get initiated pretty much automatically. Why? There's literally 178,000 open interest for this contract, and the volume is 15,000. These are just big numbers. This is very, very good for you. Now, if you press review order, Rich would collect, okay? So Rich has 37,000 shares of Palantir. He is going to say, I am willing to sell Palantir at $20 if Palantir hits $20 by this Friday. If Palantir does not hit $20 by this Friday, nothing happens. You collect the premium all the same. You are 95% chance, 94.5% chance that it's going to go in your favor and it doesn't hit $20. If it comes to 20 or close to 20, you can just roll the contract, which I can show you if you guys want to become channel members or just check my old videos. All right, Rich, very, very simple. You own 37,000 shares. For saying that you're willing to sell your Palantir at $20, which is your cost basis, you would collect 6 cents per share. You would literally collect, just listen to what I'm going to say, $2,208. So let's just review this play one more time. By the way, if you want to be super safe, you could even go to $20.50, but I don't think there's a need for this, to be quite honest for you. So you own 37,000 shares at $20. You can sell a $20 strike 1 week covered call contract. You would collect 6 cents per share, maybe, or 5 cents per share. If you collect 6 cents per share, you would be collecting $2,200 a week, this week, next week, so on and so forth. As the price of Palantir goes up, you can now sell higher strikes. For example, if Palantir then goes up to $17, $18, $19, guess what? You're not going to be as far apart because now you can sell a covered call for $21 because now you are getting, not to mention premium, also appreciation of your shares. And if you bought for 20 and you sell for 21, that means you probably bought, a month ago? I'm assuming you bought in the last run-up. You'll be in really good shape. But the point is not to sell your shares. The point is to keep collecting your premiums and reduce your cost basis. Think about what I just said. You bought your shares for $20 on average. If you do this, now your share per, the amount you paid per share is no longer $20. The amount you paid per share is now $19.94. Why? Because you reduced your cost basis by 6 cents because you just sold a premium. And guess what? Next week, you're going to do the same exact thing. So your cost basis is now going to go from $20 to $19.94 to $20 to $19.94 to $19.88, so on and so forth. The higher the strike price of Palantir goes, now you're going to start collecting a lot more premium. So your premium is going to go from 6 cents to 10 cents to 15 cents to even sometimes 30, 40, 50 cents per share. Let me explain that again, 50 cents per share. So it's possible if Palantir goes to, let's say, $21 a share, $22 a share, and it ran up a lot, you can sell your shares right on the money or sell a covered call right on the money, and you would collect 50 cents per share. So you would literally collect around $18,000 in a week. $18,000 in a week. And guess what? If Palantir drops, just use that money to buy Palantir shares. Rich, I hope this helps you in some way, shape, or form. And if it does, please consider becoming a channel member where we go over lives every single Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Guys, thank you, everybody, one more time. If you have some questions like Rich, please feel free to ask me in the comments down below. I'll do my best to give you a specific example. I love doing this and helping people out. Thank you very much. Please watch this video right here. It's jam-packed with knowledge, information, and just fun education. Have a great weekend.